Now that I've gone through how to get the door or the lid done, time to move on to another step before we get to the main body. And that next step is the sensor hood, to make it look like that. Greetings, Dave here, DCPFX. This is video 2 on the assembly of the Delta Vega Props tricorder. So in this video, now that we've got the lid done, it's time to focus on the sensor hood. So here's the next step in putting together the Delta Vega Props tricorder. This is the sensor hood. So this here is the sensor hood. Now I've given it a good coat of black and got it all finished up, and I gave it a quick coat of gloss because this I give it a clear gloss to finish off. This I painted white, and this is some cut vinyl, so that gives you a really nice finish. What needs to happen now is all these pieces need to go inside here, and then this goes behind. And what I have here, and I alluded to this in one of my previous videos, this is packing foam, which I use as a diffuser. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so if we have, there's the front there, and if we put that directly on there, okay, you get that. So if we were to take this piece in here, basically you're just seeing the 2 bulbs there. If you put that there, you're seeing the 4 bulbs. So what I've come up with is just this packing foam. Put that on there. And there's this. I need 3 hands to do this. Put that there. Put that there. Put that there. It just helps diffuse it a little more. Makes it look a little bit nicer. Also, what I've done too with this is, and I mentioned this before as well, I have this gasket that I've made, just cut out of foam, put it around here. I noticed in my last tricorder when I had the hood on, when I looked at it from the top, I could see through this, I could see a little bit of the red color coming through from the red LEDs at the top. When I do that, that isolates that green really nicely from every angle. It just is all green. So that is why I did that. So this is going to take a little bit of time with some cyanoacrylate. I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. So now, a little bit of cyanoacrylate or Gorilla Glue, just to hold the pieces in place. Now this is going to be held on by the board itself. So it's just a little bit to keep it from sliding out as I'm assembling it. So these are my diffusers. So these are the red lights and the green lights, and then that's at the front in the white part of the front. I'm just going to let this dry a little bit, and then I'll throw this on, and I'm going to use hot glue to secure the board to the sensor array, just so the sensor hood, so it's there. I find, like I said before, I find that hot glue is a little more robust for holding these things together. So once this is done drying, I'll throw this on, and I'll assemble the sensor hood. So there's the board just being held on. Well, I'm holding it on with my hands, but that is everything set up there. So you've got all your pieces there good to go. So I'm going to apply a little hot glue to the back here to hold this all together, and we'll be all set. So now the glue has had a chance to set. Hot glue is great once it's done, and everything is there. That's a little bit. There we go. So that now goes into the top of the tricorder. So the next steps now that this is done is to move on to the body. So we then have to solder onto the hinges, and we also have to add in the reed switch and get it to the point where this sucker is almost done. So that is the second video on putting this all together. Stay tuned for the next. So that's the sensor hood. That's all the stuff that really Well, when you first see a tricorder, some scanning, that's the part you see. You see the moving lights at the bottom. Well, the sensor array, you see that. That's the part that really catches your eye. And then when you get to the body where you see the lights going up and down, that's kind of cool too. But that's the part that, when you see them, because you never see them from head down to the tricorder. We very rarely do. You always see them scanning something. You see that. So that's what makes the sensor hood really cool. And the amount of work Jerry put in this, the Prop EF exports for this are phenomenal. And I just love the fact that these are now on JST connectors. Because the last one I made, this one, so to get this together, there was a lot of little pieces that were soldered to solder to solder to solder. So when you were assembling this, you're assembling the whole thing at once. And it was a bit of a headache. So by doing it this way, I can actually put the sensor hood in, glue it in place when I'm done with the body. And that's the next step. I'm not showing that right now. I'll do that when I get the final assembly. But when I do that, I can just leave it as is and move on to the next. So I can actually put the sensor hood in and then glue it in, leave it there, and put the lights on the top and glue it in, leave it there. And then when I'm done, here's the body. Connect, 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 power, done. So that's going to be pretty cool. So that's the next step. So that's step 2. Following up is probably going to be, I think the next step from now is going to be getting the body done, getting the hinges soldered in. And once we get to the body, that's very quick. The rest of it comes together quite easily. So thanks for stopping by. Hopefully this is informative for you. It's funny, when I looked at my last video on the lid, in the middle of the night, it came to me, hey, you didn't talk about the magnet. So I had an addendum to add the magnet in there. I don't want people, like, I know what I'm doing. I know what needs to go in before I seal, but I don't want people to get it all sealed and go, you didn't tell me to put the magnet in. So it's funny. That's why I like to do these a couple days in advance. So get them done so they're ready for when they go live, they go live. So that's it. Hope everyone's having a great day. We'll talk to you all later, and we'll see you for the next video on the Delta Vega Props tricorder assembly.